Okay, so I think we are live now. Are you guys able to hear me? Just give me a confirmation. Am I audible? Okay. Okay, so I think we can start with our session. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the session. I am Dhaval Divedi, a member of technical staff and data science team at Geeks for Geeks, and your host for this session. So, it really feels it's all about the agents and more agents in today's era. So I mean, seriously, if you can just pull one person from the crowd and ask like, hey bro, what's up, so he'll probably answer like, nothing much, I have been playing with this agent I just created, right? So that means like it's all everything about the agents today. But here's the catch, right? So while building a quick prototype is easy, right? But there is one massive painful issue that teams are running into on day-to-day basis when it comes to creating and maintaining full-fledged production-ready applications, right? So no, I'm not trying to give you too much of the spoilers now, but to break down exactly what this wall is and like how to, more importantly, how to fix it. So we have our couple of speakers with us today, and the first one is Siddhant Sinha. He is the lead member of technical staff at TextMUAI, and the second one is Shravan Mahajan. He is the senior member of technical staff at TextMUAI. So, and obviously in the middle of the session, if you guys have any doubts, you can just paste it in the chats and we'll pick up in the Q&A session for sure. And we are so glad to have you guys here. And with this, let's get started. It's over to you guys.
Right. Let me just start by sharing the screen. Just let me know if the slides are visible. Right?
Sure. Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dhawan. I am Siddhant, and so today's session, as you all can see, the slide, build AI agents that actually verify their own work. So today, what we are trying to address is that there is a gap that has been developed due to this complete agentic workflow that we all are using nowadays, and we'll be trying to address that in this particular session. So I'll get started with it now. And so the first question is, like every AI team, like in this 2026, this year itself, is shipping a lot of code. And there has been a huge gap in verification of those codes. Like how are we even verifying it? So the software industry has changed a lot in last 2 years, and people are shipping massively. So what I'm going to talk about, not the unit test, integration test, and all those things that already your agents are writing, but what you visually verify or what the end user is getting the experience on your web application. So I'm going to talk about that stuff. So I'll move on to the next slide. So what has happened in last 2 years is we have been shipping a lot of code, and the agent itself is writing the unit test, integration test, and they're testing it completely. And we are not even verifying all those things, and we are just like kind of believing in agents that whatever they are doing it correctly itself. Now, what the agents can't do in today's software testing itself is verifying if the feature works or not works, whatever you're writing. So they can't, like a human, they can't go to a browser and just say that I'll click on this button and I'll see whether it works or not works. in today's world. So for developer, it's very hard to maintain what they are building because they are building at a very fast pace. They need a tool which helps them to test at the same speed that they're developing itself. So they need a tool where they can actually verify the feature itself, not the code. So the code should be a black box. Okay, the end user is not going to go and check your code, how it's written or whatever is there. It's going to check what experience they are getting, whether a button that you have written is working or not working, whether a modal comes up or not comes up. All those things that end user matters for the end user. So this session is specifically for the engineers, developers, QA engineers, designers, PMs, and white coders like who have just in this agentic era has come up and trying to solve their problem by developing a small prototype or a product, and they are launching it in the market for getting their validation, MVPs, and all those things. So let's move on to the next slide. Yeah. So meanwhile, I'll check if there's any questions till now. Just let me.
Just go to the Q&A section.
Yeah. So guys, hopefully whatever I have said it makes sense. If you guys have any questions, you can ask. Okay. I see someone asking what is the aim of this session. So the aim of this session is to tell you guys about the gap that has been created due to this agentic workflows and agentic development that we are doing, and what uh, there is a need for a tool that doesn't verify your code. It verifies the feature and the experience that the end user is getting. So this session is about that, and how at Test New AI we have been working for a past few months on this to fill up this gap altogether. So this session is basically about that. Uh, okay, I'll move on. I'll move on to the slide itself. So the slides talk about itself the where the verifications are getting skipped, and we as an organizations are also facing this issue where we are shipping the code massively and where our UI breaks or something. So the complete agenda for this tool has derived from our internal usage itself, first of all, and in the current market also itself, there is a huge gap for this tool. So agent writes the code, we are reviewing the PRs. Maybe if it's a long PR today in today's world, like people are creating PR of 10,000 line, 50,000 line, or 70,000 lines. So it's not manually possible. So agents are only going to review those PRs also. So they just review the code, as I mentioned. They doesn't review the feature or the user experience that the end user will get. The CI/CD. So in today's like now it's difficult for QAs as well to test something out nowadays because a front-end developer or a developer itself, if I talk about, is shipping a lot of features in one day itself, and it's very hard for QA to maintain their like locator selector or whatever they are writing. It's very hard to for them to maintain or write a new test case every day. So there is a need in CI/CD itself that whatever feature we are shipping, we need to verify it, like what the end user will get the experience. And post deployment, this is like the most critical part, where once your deployment is done, there needs to be someone who should be verifying what features are getting deployed, what is breaking, what is not breaking, and that is definitely missing in today's agentic workflow cycle itself. So I'll be handing this to Shravan. Shravan will talk about the tool that we have been working on for past few days. So Shravan, now please take this up.
Right. So the exact gap that Siddhant mentioned that we get in our development life cycle wherein no one is actually validating how the end user is getting the product. Is it working correctly? The code looks right, but maybe the functionality is broken. Maybe talking specifically about front end, if a color is slightly off, those kind of things. The agent who is writing the code might miss. So just talking about this gap, how can we fill it? Like Siddhant mentioned, that we need a specific tool who can actually go to a browser and validate things for them while you are also developing the product itself. It will massively improve the productivity and the quality of the things that you are pushing, right? So we at TestMeUI have built a tool to exactly cater to this gap. It's called Kane CLI. It's a browser automation tool. It's not exactly an automation tool, but it's a browser agent that can start up your browser and validate the exact flows that you want for you. Uh, so uh, so we have a small demo of how it looks in a terminal. So people have been have migrated to terminal based development. So there are a lot of CLI tools that we call Cloud Code. You might have heard about it. Codex, Cursor, and Gemini, which work right out of your terminal or command line, right? We do have a lot of VS Code integrations, but most of people are moving to the terminal-based UIs for their development and interaction with the agent and the code that they're writing. So the Kane CLI is again a similar terminal-based tool which can run directly from your terminal if you want to. It has its own interface, and you can also ask your agents. You can integrate these with your existing agents if you have it. Your Cursor, Cloud Code, Gemini, Codex, whatever kind of CLI tool or the agent tool you might be using. Right. So moving on to the next slide. Yeah, with Kane CLI, what exactly it is and what exactly can it do? It is actually like Siddhant already mentioned that the QAs had to maintain a lot of locators and stuff like that to make sure that each of the flow works correctly. It goes you have to manually author the test. You have to go step by step into each individual flow. You click on a button, it opens up a modal, something like that, right? But KNCLI also fills in this gap because you might not have the time to actually go into that intricacies of the visual testing or the browser testing thing. In Kane CLI, we have intent-based control. You just mentioned the CLI. What exactly is it that you want to test, and it will figure out the steps that it has to go to, and will just use your natural language to navigate through the flows that you want to test, and it will actually validate if all the flows are working correct. Right, talking about resilient runs, Kane CLI can actually walk through your very complex scenarios. Maybe if something shows up, you have to do this. There's a lot of complex flows that you might want to write for your user interfaces, but Kane CLI can again go in that kind of complex depth. Uh, so automated bug discovery, obviously, if you are still building a prototype, you are going to face a lot of bugs, at least in the initial stage. Kane CLI will actually report it for you, what kind of bugs that it found while navigating through the flows, right? Now, if you are aware of the actual QA or quality testing life cycle, you might be aware that there's a lot of complex waiting scenarios that you might get. For example, you open up a modal, but then you open up a modal, but it takes some time to load. Maybe your server is slow, maybe something else. But how does it wait for it? But we have something called as vision based wait, wherein it will actually wait for the thing to completely render to actually validate if something works or it is breaking, right? Again, if you know about the scripting, we do have a lot of frameworks available to do these, wherein you manually type in the scripts itself. So Kane CLI, once you write a test or Kane CLI goes through a flow, you can actually export the test itself with in Playwright or any other framework as well, for that matter. Uh, again, we will go into a lot of details. We'll do have a lot live demo for this, and maybe things will be a little clearer there. But I'll just go over the brief details about what else it can do, right? Uh, we do have built a TestMD framework. We might show it later. What you can do is write your complete end-to-end flows in your website, wherein you uh, write your complete objective split into a markdown file in natural languages, and you get a complete test for that specific flow that you want to test. So the idea is that once the agent has authored the test, it should be able to, without having to go through that discovery flow again, you might want to just do the things where you do not need the agent again, right out of right out of the box, right? So the idea is you just replay the same this framework, and it will do the steps again without having to ask the agent itself, right? And again, the auto heal functionality, it's something wherein if you are using a locator to test something, there's a slight change in the uh, locator, but it doesn't actually break the system. It will heal it out for you as well, right? And again, once a test or a session has completed, you get a shareable evidence in terms of a UI on exactly what exactly has Kane CLI gone through, what exactly it validated, where exactly is it that it reported a bug, right? And then the last thing is agent native NDJSON. So NDJSON is just a way of writing in a structured format whatever output it has generated. And this NDJSON is not for us, but it's actually for the agents. So for example, if you have integrated Kane CLI with your Cloud Code or any other agent, it will be able to understand completely what the output Kane CLI has produced.
I think we might take some of the questions. We are getting some good questions I can see. So let me just see. Just give me a moment. Okay. So one of the question is when we say intent-based control, how do we make sure we always get deterministic output? And how would tests be generated with intent-based? Okay. So Shravan, would you like to take this up?
Right. With the deterministic control, what we mean is we actually produce an output which right now is understandable just by Kane CLI. The idea is that it will actually store the metadata of the elements or the things that it has interacted with. So once you have authored a test, if you want to replay, like I mentioned in the TestMD framework, if you just replay the test, it will just use up that metadata to make sure that it's doing the same thing again and not again drifting here and there. That's what I meant by the deterministic control, right?
Yeah.
And there was some other thing as well in this, the same question.
How would the test be generated with intent-based?
Right, the test you can export, right? Like I mentioned, you can export your Playwright scripts. So the idea is that whatever agent has interacted with, you can also get out a script written in Playwright, which you can just integrate maybe in your whole framework that already is there.
So there is also one question: does it verifies the code? So the answer is no. So Kane CLI has nothing to do with the code that you are writing, but it has to do with the feature that you are shipping. So it doesn't go into your code to figure out something. You tell what feature you want to test it out, and Kane CLI will go on to your launch a browser for itself and verifies that specific feature for you. And someone has asked like, how can we make sure that it is correct? So there are a lot of things that we have introduced in Kane CLI that is called like assertions, verifications, checkpoints. You can store something that if you want to, like suppose go to a particular screen on your website and store what is written in the header or something. You can store all these things and you can assert it in natural language itself. So you can say that you want to assert that this is visible at the top of your website, if at like if it is present there or not, visibility checks and all those things. You can write it in complete plain natural language to make sure that the test that you're writing is resilient enough and is verifiable by someone else who is looking at the code itself or the shareable evidence. So,
Right, maybe we can take the rest of them later in the Q&A session. We have the last 15 minutes to take the questions.
sure. We can continue. Yeah.
Uh, Right. So the tool, again, talking about the CLI itself, it's completely built to adjust right within where your agentic workflows live. So the idea is, I'll just give you an example of how one of my workflows look like. So I have Cloud Code. Whenever I develop something or some code, I just create a spec, create a design, and just ask Cloud Code to go and fire whatever code that it's going to write out, right? So I mean, it sounds vague, but there's a lot of iterations that go into the design. But once the design is logged, Claude can actually write a very good output for the same. But the idea is that the designs can be very big, and the code that Claude can ship can be massively huge for even me to validate, right? So that is exactly where this fits in. Maybe while writing the code, it also creates unit tests and integration tests. But again, they are not the final verification that the end user is going to experience, right? So that is where the Kane CLI fits in, where it will actually validate looking at the end result from an end user's perspective, right? Again, while Kane CLI is navigating through the flows, it might need your input. For example, OTPs and captchas, it cannot just mock right outright. So in these cases, it will just ask you to either complete the captcha for it, or maybe if it is an OTP flow, you get the OTP in your mobile phone. It will ask you to input it so that it can just continue executing whatever test it was authoring, right? Again, it is very much compatible with the CI/CD. So maybe you have your GitHub actions written, and you just want to invoke Kane CLI there and just validate the whatever uh, was the flow that you might have already validated, but you want to validate again in and make it part of your CI/CD validations as well, right? It's completely compatible with Kane CLI as well. Talking about contextual authoring, obviously, if the agent has gone through a flow already, you might want to save some context. So, because the first time agent goes to your website, it obviously is going to face a lot of what do you call it, discrepancies in terms of which flow. Maybe you have two ways to log out from a website. It has to decide, does it want to go to the one of those. So maybe you always wanted to use that flow. That is where the agent will build the context. Like uh, so basically, if you just redo the same authoring session, the agent will have more context about the same from your previous session, right? And again, it runs on your local browser. You do not have to integrate it with any remote entity. It just works right out of the box in your maybe your laptop, right? Right. Then there comes uh, how does it fit in? So it's a terminal tool. Where does it exactly fit in your agentic loop? Maybe you have your whole workflows written, or maybe in Cloud Code, for example. So how does it fit in? So we do have a direct CLI commands that your agent can invoke. It will run as your sub process that your agent will spawn. Again, it has an SDK integration wherein if your Claude, for example, or your agent is writing a script for you to validate, it can just invoke in right out of the box there itself from your script itself. And then we do have agent tool, which is so all your CLI tools support something called as agent.md or skill.md, wherein you teach it how to do something. So this is already baked to all of the latest agent tools that there are. So Kane CLI can also be part of this. The same, we already have built an agents.md which teaches the your agent on how to work with Kane CLI. If it's starting a process, what is the output it's going to generate? What's the input that it's going to expect? Right. So we'll just go over to a live demo. Right, Siddhan?
Yeah, just a second. Okay, I think now I'm there. I'll start presenting it. Just
Let me just stop the presentation for a moment.
yeah, sure. Okay. Think my screen should be visible. Not sure. Let's just wait for a second. Yeah, sure. Now I can see my screen. So we have been talking about Kane CLI now. Now it's time to see how it works in action altogether. So it's basically a CLI tool that you can just install by npm command or a brew command onto your machine, and you can try like verifying anything, any actions, any verifications, all those things you can do by Kane CLI. So I'll just start launching it. Uh, you can see that I've started Kane CLI right now in the TUI mode itself, where it's asking for an objective that I want to verify right now. So I can write anything. Let's just let me just do. Okay, I'll just do a flow. There, this is a website, DOM Setu, and we want to test out the feature called checkout flow and save the order ID, and then go to google.com and type the same order ID that has been generated. So this is a flow where let's see how agent actually works in this complete flow altogether. I'll I've given it the command. My browser has launched up, and it, now my the Kane CLI itself started to plan out everything what it want to test and how it will be testing it in the browser, and the same steps that will be happening as you will see in the terminal itself, you will also get to see in the browser that is it is actually happening for you. So it has launched a browser and it will take some time. So we can see it has navigated to the specific website and it needs to complete a checkout flow. So it will start yeah, so you can see that it is now going to e-commerce checkout module and it will start to perform action. So meanwhile this is happening, as it is an agent that is running and trying to figure out everything, I'll show you a separate integration altogether that Shravan has talked about a lot during his um, uh, presentation. So it's about the Claude code. So meanwhile, that is running in the background. I don't have to go and see it all the time. I can also use Claude code to run a particular testing itself where I don't need to provide an objective. Claude code itself will figure it out. I'll just give the feature what I want to do, and Claude Code will figure it out how to test it. So there is a skill called Kane CLI. I'll show you what it shows altogether when you just do Kane CLI itself. So Claude Code is running. So it checks the version, it checks whether you're authenticated or not authenticated with the Kane CLI itself, and it says what the skill actually does. So you can navigate, click, fill form, search, verify something, assert on a conditions, extract some data, run multiple tests in parallel. If you want to, like, if I can run 10 parallel sessions altogether. So it is giving me some suggestion. I'll just try to run that suggestion and let's see what it does. So agent will whenever you are integrating with Claude Code, Gemini, or anything, it will basically try to do it in a headless mode. So you are not getting blocked on anything, and it will verify everything for you and comes back with some result. So you can see that it is running in headless mode itself. So you will not be able to see anything, but in the end you will get all the verification and also the shareable link where you can go and see that what the agent has altogether done itself. So meanwhile this runs, we'll go back to the session that we have started normally in DY mode, and we can see it is doing a lot of stuff. It is filling the form now for me, and we can see what it has done. It has went to a e-commerce checkout module, added product, went to the cart, scroll down, continue, click on payment, but it needs to satisfy some of the things before. So it has been seeing the errors, so it is trying to fill up all the form altogether before going and clicking on complete and payment and all those things here. So it's still going on. It has filled the form. Okay, I can see it on the payments page now. So let's see. Uh, Meanwhile, I can show you features around as well. So Kane CLI is not just about giving the objective, but there are many other things that you will see there. Like in configuration, if you will go, there is a support for Chrome profiles. So there are many times that you want to run some action where your account is already logged in. So you can have support for creating, like, just go and create a Chrome profile, something whenever you want to. Uh, by default, there is no profile that is getting selected here. These projects and folder are something that is linked to the shareable link that we have talked about, the evidence. So basically, what it happens is there is a test manager by TestView AI. There you need to select a specific project and a folder where your generated test is getting uploaded, so that in future you can maintain a proper serialized manner of how you are storing your runs and your test cases. So that is a test manager feature. Um, there are different modes for running your objective. There is action mode, there is a testing mode. When you go to testing mode, you can do negative assertions and all those things. In action mode, there are certain things that Kane CLI will not do, like adding some verification by itself. But in testing mode, it will definitely add its own verification to verify if the objective or the testing that you're doing has been completed or not. Let's go back. I see it has stored the order ID. Let's see what it does. It is typing the order ID itself. Yeah, typing the order ID. Okay. So what it did was it completed the checkout flow, it stored the order ID, and by going on Google.com, it pasted the same order ID that has been completed. So you can do many other things with this. You can use the same order ID, call some API, do some other action over it. So it's completely based on to you how you are using Kane CLI for in your workflows altogether. And now this session has been completed. It took 5 minutes to verify this specific feature, and I don't have to do anything. Just I have to put in objective, and I'll go and I'll rest and I'll do my stuff, and I don't have to worry about it. Now the summary. We also give like the summary of what has been executed here itself. Like it has completed the checkout flow. You can see the order ID and all those stuff. I'll exit this, and we'll see some post processing that is happening, and it is also generating code for you, as many people are talking about the playwright code and all those stuff. So it generates code for you which you can execute on your local machine without worrying to like without needing to worry about anything else. So I'll just do this, and I got a shareable link. Okay, I'll open it up. We'll wait for some time. I'll go. Okay, let me open it up only directly. Okay, so this is the test manager that I was talking about, and it has whatever step it has done, it has saved it for me, and I can share this link with anyone I want to, and they can verify what I have tested and what features have been tested or what assertion have been done and what has been missed. Everything is here. So I'll just do autoplay for you. It's nothing. It's just playing of the total scenario that happened on my machine. So it went. It added to cart, into cart. You guys can see how everything is there for the evidence what it has done altogether. So it tries to continue the payment, but it found that it needs to fill the form. Then it started filling the form completely. Filled all the details. So these things that has happened, that it has went and directly click on order. So there was contextual authorizing that Shravan was talking about. So if you give the context already that your website is in this way, then it will not do these stuff, and it will directly go fill the form and then click on the button. Now order ID, let's save it, and yeah. So this is the complete flow that we were talking about, how it generates evidence for anyone else to see. So I'll go back into this, and this was the TUI flow that I have shown you. But we have been talking about the coding agents, Claude Code, Gemini. So it works with them. It's kind of a skill that gives Claude Code ability to test out the feature and the things that we are talking about. So this tool is for human as well as for the agents. So agent will also get more confidence in what they are writing and what they are doing. So if they can verify what is happening on the browser, definitely it will write better code for you, and vice versa. So I can see that what I have executed, it has passed. It verified that Lambda test homepage loads, number of steps taken, what it has done, and homepage heading is visible. So it has created some assertions for me. I'll check this also in test manager itself. So I can see this test has now also been now created on test manager, and I can just autoplay and see what has happened. I don't need to wait on my local machine to see everything like what is happening. So everything is getting uploaded for you, and you can share it with anyone altogether. So okay, got it. So yeah, this was the complete demo that we wanted to show. But there is one thing that Shravan talked about. Uh, I'll show you. Yeah. So the MD's file that Shravan was talking about, test.md. So what you can do, you can write this test.md itself. So your agent can write it, you can write it with giving what you want to achieve in this objective, what you want to do in this objective, and you can run it here. I'll show you. Uh, let's not keep some mysteries. Let's do it. I'll do this test, and it will show me what tests I have and what I can run. The MD's file. I'll just select this, and I want to run this. So it will start executing that MD file that I have written and verify it for me, whatever the objective is there. So you can see that it is now in authoring phase. It has generated 4 checkpoints. Meanwhile, this is running. We can take some questions, I guess. Right. It has been long.
And just to add one more thing to your Claude session, can you just So here Siddhant had just run one demo kind of validation, but this is exactly wherein your Claude workflow that maybe you might have already written, Kane CLI will fit in. So for example, it has already created a website for you. It has generated the code. It has hosted it somewhere. Claude can do that very well for you, but this is exactly wherein the next step is So Claude will automatically invoke Kane CLI and will actually validate if the thing actually works or not, and will give you a proper report. And it can automatically consume that report as well, to make sure that it might not have missed something, or it needs to make some revisions in the code itself. So that's it. Yeah. Uh, Maybe we
Okay.
can go to the questions now.
Yeah, we can take some questions. Okay. So there is one question. What's the thing which makes Kane CLI unique? Kane CLI is okay. So you want to take this, Ravan?
Yeah, so Kane CLI is unique because it's the eyes and hands of whatever you're building, right? It doesn't just automate browser, it sees the rendered UI, it interacts just like a real user would, right? So it reports back, and maybe if you want your agent to actually, maybe you are using it with an agent, you'll want to have a proof that the agent understands where it went wrong, where there the issue might be. So that kind of output it can generate. That is something that makes it unique, right?
There is a second question. Uh, why Kane CLI can't? Okay. Why we can't use just the other frameworks? I think Cypress. Okay. Or anti-gravity, or for that matter. So there is a difference actually. So Kane CLI is not anti-gravity. It's not a IDE. It's not your coding agent. It's a browser automation or a browser action tool that integrates with your IDE, your coding agents, or your CI/CD pipeline, where uh, where it will interact with your browser. So it will interact with your browser. It's not a IDE. I'm mentioning it again. So it's just a tool that helps people in verifying what they're working on, what they're developing or what they're testing, and what is going to the production. So that's Kane CLI for you, and definitely it can expand and it can create a test, like for a QA engineer. It is very important to create a regression or a smoke test suite. So Kane CLI is the tool that can cater to that particular issue, and they can create a agentic workflow tool where if something changes, their test suite automatically gets updated. They don't have to worry about going and writing everything all the times, because nowadays people are featuring 50 features in a day, and it's not manually possible for them to do it actually.
Right. So the next question is, in every PR, it will check the whole flow again. That's the question. So you want to?
Yeah, sure. So yes. So suppose you have developed a feature. I'll take an example. You have developed a feature, a login feature, okay, and you want to check that if some code is going, that feature is not breaking. So you author it once, like how I have authored it just now. So there are two modes: authoring and replay. Authoring is the flow where actually these agents basically generate a trajectory for you, and once a trajectory is generated, you can just replay it without uh, doing any non-deterministic operation. So yes, once you have done a authoring for a login flow, you can just drop it into to your CI/CD. That whenever a PR is getting merged, it Kane CLI automatically gets triggered in a headless mode. It spins up your browser, it does a login flow, and it generates evidence for you. So yes, it is possible to do it.
It's a long
Okay.
question. If there's a new element added to the same page where the test already is generated, and if it's intent based and it detects the new element, how do we ensure that it follows the test code specification? Right. You want to answer that?
Yeah. So now we are talking about the test script getting auto updated, and without involvement of any without any human getting involved in it. So if a website has changed, suppose I'll take a basic example of login flow itself. So there was a login flow, and you had an option to put username and password and put a submit button. So first time when you did, agent just put in username, password, and it clicks on submit. Now, after 2 days, what developer did was, instead of putting username, password, and login together, what it did, it they removed the password field from there. Only user field is there. You put the username, click on the continue, then the password field appears. Now, what will happen in this case? You have generated a authoring for the first time. Now, when you try to replay it, it will break. So you just do a you say that you want to again reauthor the same thing, and it will adapt to the name same flow altogether without you getting going into the depth of a locator or some framework, Selenium, Playwright, or whatever it is. So it adapts for you. You can run it again all the time, and it will work successfully as a test. So I think we'll go to the questions and end now. So the GitHub, when I have executed and it has completed, I'll show you the shareable link for this also because I haven't also seen what happened. So let's just see what it has done. So open GitHub Microsoft Playwright, verify the page header, whether it shows Microsoft or Playwright, about panel and all those things. Let's see what happened in autoplay. So it went, it is extracting some of the thing, it is performing the assertions for you. Okay. So this test that you are seeing, it is having a lot of assertions that we have written because it's a test MD file that we have written. So verification is the most important part here. Now it clicks on packages and it checks for Playwright core, whether it's included in the directory or not. And it says that it has found, it has done the final verification, yeah, and it has completed. So this was the final part of the demo where we have shown how TestMD also works. Now,
Yeah, you want to go back to the slides?
yeah, let's just do that. I'll stop sharing. Let's just share it. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys for your explanation. And like, it's a totally amazing thing to have, especially if you like, if there is a people who are using Claude and some agents like these, and especially in order to test that, they have a dedicated skill for that, such as Kane CLI. It makes the works really easier for them to test these features. And specifically, like, I want to ask one more question, that if there are most of the doubts which I have seen here, and people are mentioning that how we can get our actually we can get our hands dirty with the Kane CLI, right? So about the model and the subscription, so can you explain that?
Okay, I'll take it. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to create an account on Test New AI, and you will get free credits for getting started. You can just go to Kane CLI GitHub. I think the link is already pinned, so anyone can just go install it, log in, just do the authentication, and they can get started. That's it for running Kane CLI in their local terminal.
Okay, okay, that's great. And if I may ask, like, what is the future scope of this thing? Like, what are you planning? What are you guys are planning to integrate with Kane CLI in future?
I think Shravan should take that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll mostly be around what do you call it? The all the browser tools that are exposed. So maybe you want to go in depth of how your website is behaving or interacting with the browser itself. So maybe you store something in cookies. How does it log something in consoles? Those kind of things. Those are the kind of integration that we are looking at just like in near future. And the long term goal is to cover all the different, it won't just be limited to browsers. It will just be app testing or whatever kind of testing that one might want to do it with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I have one more doubt. Like she has asked that you have, if a person has already created an agent, AI agent using Crew AI, so and he or she wants to integrate the Kane CLI. So what should be the overall workflow for this whole process? Like if you can explain it in very brief, what should be the workflow from
Right.
connecting agent?
So that really depends on how their workflow setup is. So, for example, with one of the agents, and let's take just the example of Claude, the workflow looks like uh, just a lot of skills and agents.mds. Those are exactly what the workflow look like, and Kane CLI will just be another MD there, and Claude will automatically know. But talking about how people are using, I just looked at the question as well. They're talking about build using LangChain. They have their agent AI agent built using LangChain. So in that case, KNCLI will just be another tool inside your LangChain environment that will just be there.
Yeah. It will be
Okay.
just a process that you spin up from your programming language itself, and it will get you the information whatever you want, or whatever you want to test inside your own agent itself.
Okay.
Like it's a tool to your agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So like it's a like thank you so much guys, like you've been patiently answering all the doubts and like what we personally have asked and folks have asked, and especially it's a very good tool to implement, and quite excited for it. Like personally I want to get my hands dirty with this, and obviously like in short, like thank you so much guys for the session, and also we like looking forward to have more such sessions with text mu AI regarding these webinars and all. So yeah, thank you so much guys, and thank you for the folks as well who have joined and who've been patient till the end of the session, and like I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Absolutely. So, like, do you guys have something to add on? Like, or we can wrap up the session.
We can wrap up. Thanks everyone for
Yeah.
joining.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining this session.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Adam. Thanks,
Thank
Shravan.
you.